All right, so let's start today with your eyes closed, sitting nice and comfortably, letting your hands rest on your heart, and letting your elbows just relax against your ribs. Breathing very consciously, but in a very relaxed manner. And as you breathe, I'd like you to think about the word nourishment. What does it feel like to nourish yourself, to be full? Not to be full of distractions and thoughts, but truly to be full of all that supports you, and that holds you, and that nurtures you. So as you consciously breathe, send this breath into all those places inside that need to be nurtured. Maybe it's your heart today, or maybe it's your knee, or maybe it's your toe, or maybe it's everything. Consciously begin to connect with where you need to be nourished and held. Give that to yourself. In Sanskrit, there's a word, bharita, and it means to be nourished, to be full. It's also associated with the color green, which is interesting because green is the heart chakra. And there's nothing to me that's more nourishing than the energy of love and compassion and kindness. And that's what the heart chakra is all about. So whenever you're feeling run down or burnt out, like you just need to pause for a moment, and you just can't, stop and place your hands on your heart and bring your awareness there. And let your breath move from that place. Really tapping into that ability to self-nourish. So often we look for things on the outside to nourish us, but it's not real nourishment. And of course, there are things like food comes from the outside, but when we connect with those things that we put into our body, when we connect with the information that we put into our mind, the energy that we put into our day, when we do it in a conscious way, we get to choose whether it's something that's nourishing or depleting. It's the word nourish. It means to sustain, to nurture, to encourage, to support growth. What do I do each day to bring nourishment into my life, into my world? Think about all the different ways we need to be nourished. I'm going to read something from the Radiance Sutras that talks about that. We need food of many kinds. There's the food we eat with our mouths. There's also food for thought, food for the soul, and nourishment for our hungry hearts. There's something nourishing about good music. It's a kind of food. And there's a nourishing quality to simple sensuality, like walking in nature with the sun shining on your skin, the wind tickling the hairs on your arms. Certain people are nourishing to be around. And she talks about bringing nourishment in through our senses, through our perceptions, right? Our eyes, our ears, our nose, our mouths, our touch. So ways to nourish are eating foods that taste and feel so good in our bodies, listening to music and other sounds like the laugh of a baby, or maybe your own laugh, bringing it in through your ears, right? Being around scents that just really please your senses. Maybe getting rid of things that are a little bit harsh, introducing essential oils into your home instead of, the plug-in air fresheners that also have that chemical smell to it. Really noticing what you need, what your senses, what your body, what your soul craves in order to be really nourished, fully nourished. And then there's the nourishment of the mind, the knowledge, the information that we take in, right? What do we take in that we think of as knowledge? And is it truly knowledge, or is it gossip, or is it fear? Like, what is it? Is what I'm listening to, is what I'm taking in, truly sustaining me? Is it moving me toward that place that I'd like to grow to? Or is it holding me tethered back in fear? It's a question I ask myself often because I like to stay informed, but staying informed doesn't mean reading every article that's filled with opinion that might not resonate with me or might resonate with my fear. So, really, to start to discern as I turn my attention towards something or someone, whether this is nourishing for me or whether it's depleting for me. We can't always, every moment of our lives, choose, well, we can choose who to be around, but there are times that I certainly choose to be around people that deplete me a little bit. But they're people that are dear to me and they are who they are, and I want them in my life. And so, for me, it's a matter of really deciding when enough is enough. Nourishment means not doing things out of obligation, but pausing and really weighing whether this is something that feels right in my heart to do. So, where in our lives is there room to pay a little bit more attention to how we nourish ourselves, what we need to nourish ourselves? Things like a good Reiki session or a massage or a pedicure. Sometimes people refer to those as luxuries. And to me, that's not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's a way of nourishing our sense of touch. Other things, watching funny movies, laughing from our bellies. That can be nourishing. That can be so nourishing. So how do we step into those things and not think that we're being selfish or foolish or they're not as important as everything else in our lives? I'm going to read one more thing from the Book of Awakenings that kind of talks about that. If I can find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Keep breathing, by the way. I'm sure you have. I don't need to tell you that, right? All right. So it's called At the Pace of What is Real. Like most people I know, I struggle with taking too much on, with doing too many things, with moving too fast, with overcommitting and overplanning. I've learned that I must move quite simply at the pace of what is real. While this pace may vary, life always seems vacant and diminished when I accelerate beyond my capacity to feel what is before me. It seems like we run our lives like trains, speeding along a track laid down by others, going so fast that we pass blurs on by. Then we say we've been there, we've done that. The truth is that blurring by something is not the same as experiencing it. So no matter how many wonderful opportunities come my way, no matter the importance placed on those things by others who have my best interests at heart, I must somehow find a way to slow down the train that is me until what I pass by is again seeable, touchable, feelable. Otherwise, I will pass by everything, can put it all on my resume, but will have experienced and lived through nothing. Think about that. Many, many blurs or a handful of really deep, nourishing experiences. Take a few more breaths here and continue to bring your attention to that space being held by your hands. And see if you can breathe so deeply that your hands actually lift up and down as the breath moves in and out, nourishing every cell of your body with that breath. And on the next exhale, let your palms come together, moving into Anjali Mudra, and we'll open with Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Take a deep inhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Namo. Pause and feel. Allowing the vibration of your own voice and of the connection to that sound field to nourish and nurture your cells. Take a very deep breath in. And as you do, pull the pelvic floor, the navel center up, hold that breath in. Let its nurturing flood every part of your body. And exhale. We're going to move now into our next chant, Ad Gade Name, celestial communication version, starting at the heart, moving to the third eye, opening up, and then moving our palms back together and down to our heart. Here we go, 3 times. Ad Gade Name, Jugad Gade Name, Sad Gade Name, Siri Guru Deve Name, Ad Gade Name, Jugad Gade Name, Sad Gade Name, Siri Guru Deve Name, Ad Gade Name, Jugad Gade Name, Sad Gade Name, Siri Guru Deve Name. Pause and be. Maybe turning your eyes inward, moving into the state of self-study. Swadhyaya, it's called in Sanskrit, self-study. Notice where in your body that vibration vibrates. Notice the difference inside, before and after, as we introduce the sound in. Always noticing. Take a deep breath in. Inhale that prayer up overhead. Again, squeezing the navel center, the pelvic floor, moving into Mula Bandha. Sending everything up, and as you exhale, bringing your arms wide around. Slowly moving through your own amazing excellence, the perfection that is you. Kissing the earth with your fingertips, and pausing for a moment in appreciation for the nourishment that rises up from below. And then bringing your hands onto your knees, just gently begin to make, you're going to make neck circles, but you're going to use your chin as the point of reference. And imagine there's a pen on the tip of your chin, and you're just going to start to make circles as if you were drawing a circle in front of your chin, in front of your face. Let your breath flow as your neck moves. So we begin to open up that beautiful portal, the 5th chakra, the throat chakra. The next time that your chin moves down, begin to circle in the other direction. Finding yourself in a state of playfulness. Letting yourself really enjoy the movement, maybe smiling. Play Leela is a state that is so nourishing to the soul. The squeals of childhood delight when we play. And then come to center and pause. Do a few spinal flexes here, inhaling forward, exhaling back. Sometimes as an adult, I'll catch myself in those moments of Leela, just that playful glee, where I'm just laughing like a maniac. And sometimes I almost want to stop and apologize for losing control. How silly is that? How silly is that? Like we get to a certain age and then we don't have the right to just be silly and playful. Come to stillness. Just feel for a moment. We're going to move into a breath meditation that helps to clear some space that may hold us back from fully being able to nourish and nurture ourselves. And it's attached to the energy of our childhood. This is a meditation to release childhood anger. You're going to take your arms out to the sides in a T. Your peace fingers are going to be pointing out. Your thumb is going to hold down your ring and your pinky finger. And your peace fingers are together. You're going to close your eyes. Just begin to inhale deeply through your teeth. Exhale through your nose. Keep breathing that way. Your focus is going to be with closed eyes down towards your nose. We're going to do this for 3 minutes. So if your arms begin to get tired, you can bring your shoulder blades together. You can raise them up a little higher or down a little lower. Just try to keep the straight lines of the arms. And this 3 minutes is going to go faster than you realize. Nice deep breaths, taking it in through those teeth, letting it flow naturally out through the nose. As we breathe in through the teeth, there is a nourishing and nurturing, that nourishment that happens automatically. There's something about the saliva. It's part of who we are. It's the fluids that move through our bodies that cleanse and clear. They take it in and they wash it out. Everything that we do, everything that we say, we think, we believe is energy. The company that we keep, it's energy. And the quality of that energy is the cause that affects the outer world that we see. Think about that. Just like the food we eat, when we eat food, it breaks down in our bodies and it turns into tissue and it literally becomes our physical body. The energy of what we do and say and think and believe and the company we keep becomes our physical world. We plant a seed and we don't plant a echinacea seed and expect to grow parsley, right? What we plant, what we nurture and nourish ourselves with is what is going to appear in front of us. So what do you do every day to nurture and nourish rather than to deplete? What can you do? We're almost there. You have 30 seconds left. What do you do consciously every day to feed the energy of self-love, of self-awareness, of self-nurturing? From here, inhale deeply, stretch those arms, keep them out to the side. Hold that breath in. Exhale, release everything down. Let your hands rest on your knees. Pause and feel. Noticing if there's any space now. Maybe space where there wasn't space before. And sometimes when we clear, when we make that space, what happens is that we feel some feelings, some emotions come up into that space. That's okay. Tears are so nourishing, just like laughter. Same pole, different ends. Take another quiet breath here. And then slowly begin to move on to your hands and knees. Really taking your time. And once you get there, just make sure that you are fully supported. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Yeah, really settling in. You all look amazing. Ken and Susan, I can't see you, but I can feel that you are amazing. All right. Now that you're settled in, we're going to begin some cat cows here, but I want you to stop. Don't start yet. Just first bring your attention to your navel center and pretend that there is a rope that is moving right through your navel, coming out the front and the back. And then somebody gently begins to pull up as you move into cat, and then gently pulls down as you move into cow. So really moving gently from your navel center, flexing from that space right in the middle there. You can go at whatever pace feels good to you, but really move from the navel center. Really think about how powerful that is. The energy of what we eat, what we do, what we say, what we think, what we believe, who we spend our time around, that energy forms your physical world. So if there are things that appear in your physical world that feel like they're not yours, that feel like, or maybe they were yours and they're not anymore, what is it that you can shift today that will grow something new for tomorrow? Continue the movement, but now I want you to bring your attention to your sacrum in the front of your pelvis and imagine that rope is now there. And start moving from that place. So really moving from that lower back now, placing your focus and your attention there. Noticing that you're now flexing a different part of your spine, the same movement, just a subtle shift. Eyes turn so deeply inward. Is what I do supporting my growth, moving me in the direction that I want to move? Or is it tethering me to the past? And then as you continue to cat cow, begin to bring your attention to your heart and imagine that rope piercing through the front and back of your heart center, letting the movement now come from that heart, that upper back. Movement of our spine is so important. It's the pranic flow, it's the chakras, the energy of our life force. And everything we do, when I say that it nourishes us or it doesn't, it depletes us, it's the buildup. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's the buildup of pranic energy or the depletion of pranic energy. That's what Kundalini Yoga is all about. Come to stillness now. And just pause and feel for a moment. We've done a lot of flexing of our spine, a lot of movement. Just pause for a moment to restore a little bit. Maybe even press back into child's pose if that would feel good. And if you have pressed back into child's pose, which it looks like most of you that I can see have, notice what you want to do with your hands. Margie has her palms face up. That's beautiful. There's a sense of receiving. Maybe palms down, or maybe palms in prayer, or maybe your hands at your sides instead of in front. What feels good to you? What supports you? And what's really amazing is that whatever that answer is right now, an hour from now in the same pose, it might be a different answer, but that constant self-study, that constant swadhyaya, that moving inside gives us the opportunity to remain fluid, to not be stuck in old beliefs, old even being an hour ago. How amazing is it that we have the universe's full permission to believe whatever we want at any given moment and to shift that belief without judgment? I wish I could give myself that same permission more often and more easily. Another breath here. And then slowly move back to hands and knees, all fours, tabletop. Once you get there, you're going to inhale your right arm out to the right, and exhale, you're going to thread it through, but don't bring your shoulder down, just hover your shoulder, and then bring that arm back out and keep moving, a flowing thread the needle. A continual movement of opening to what is, bringing it inside, releasing it back out. Sometimes we hold so tightly to what is because we're so afraid we're going to lose it. But the truth is that if it's ours, if we release it to the universe, it will come back, maybe in different form, maybe in the same form. Right? It's like next time you reach up, reach all the way up, stretch, 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 and then reach all the way through and let your shoulder come down. And just pause here for a moment. It's like when you're playing on the beach and the waves come in and they bring that little shovel or whatever the child is playing with out into the water. Some people will like run in a frantic effort to save that shovel. And some people will just watch knowing that the next wave will likely bring it back in. And I guess those people also know that if that wave doesn't bring it back in, they can go get another shovel if they really want it. Sometimes I'm the frantic person diving into the water for that shovel. And sometimes I'm that person who sits patiently and waits to see if it's really mine. It's part of the human dance. Come on back up, let that arm float out to the right and land on the mat. And then moving to the other side, inhaling the left arm up and out. Gliding it under, letting that shoulder hover for a second and then flowing back out. Keep going. And what I've also learned is that filling myself, my life up, and being full are two very different things. Right? There's times that I have my life so full of things that don't matter, just like that reading from the Book of Awakening, that running around, that buzzing around, that doing, that overcommitting. That's just filling my time. But the pausing, the sitting on the beach and taking in the sunset, or having a good talk with a good friend, that's what fills me. That's what fills my heart. Inhale that arm all the way up. Exhale, go through and come down for a moment. There's a Rumi saying that I love. He says, the heart eats a particular food from every companion. It receives a particular nourishment from every piece of knowledge. Who do I want in front of me? What do I want in front of me? How do I want to spend my time? I get to choose. Imagine that. Do I want to live a life that's merely filled up or a life that's full? Inhale that arm back up, back to tabletop. Curl your toes. Hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Take a gentle walk, feet to hands. And then let everything go for a moment in Uttanasana. If you want to take a little twist here or you want to move your legs or your hips from side to side, do what feels good. Everybody's doing different things. I love it. And then come to stillness. Bending your knees, inhale your arms out wide, come all the way up. Reach up to the sky, bring those palms together. And then let your hands interlace and come to the back of your head. Let your elbows come out, do a little back bend here. Be mindful that as your heart moves out, your ribs soften down. And then relax your hands down to your sides, moving into Tadasana. Take a peek and make sure that your toes are facing forward, that your feet are parallel to each other, about a hip's distance apart. And from here, you're going to take your right hand and you're going to find that place in your left shoulder joint, just above the armpit and below the shoulder. There's this little divot there. And it's going to be probably, for most people, kind of tender. So once you find that, just begin to gently rub. Let your left arm just hang down gently and start to rub, really get in there with your right fingers. And as you do, begin to inhale through your teeth, exhale through your nose, really letting yourself hear that hissing sound. So what we're working on right now in Chinese medicine is known as lung meridian 1. We begin to release stagnant energy that holds back the full embodiment of prana, of breath that moves through us. And that hissing sound as you move in, that is the sound of the lung meridian. So really mindfully giving that energy permission to loosen, to move out, to make space. And then gently begin to tap that area with your fingers, a gentle tapping. Still breathing through those teeth. Let your right hand now fall to the right side. Pause for a moment. Noticing any differences between the right and the left. And then begin to move your left fingers to that space on the right. Begin to rub. First time I ever did this exercise, I was surprised at how tender that was, but what really surprised me was how such a tender spot could exist in my body without me knowing it. Right? More awareness of our bodies, of our needs, of our desires. Still breathing that breath. And then begin that gentle tapping. Releasing that left arm down, pausing for a moment to feel. From here, you're going to step your left foot back, moving into kind of a warrior 1. So bring your feet into a warrior 1 stance. Left foot back. Bring your arms, you're going to bend into that front knee. And then Bring your arms in front of you, interlacing the fingers and pressing the palms forward. Just pause and breathe here. Really feel yourself pressing forward. And then gently begin to rotate your torso to the left slightly. So away from that knee. And then pause here. Let the left elbow drop, the right elbow raise, and just kind of look in between the circle that you've made. Yep, beautiful, March. And then come back to center. Press forward. Move over to the other side. Drop the right elbow, lift the left, look into that circle. Come back to center. Let your palms come to your heart. Step your back foot forward. Move to the other side. So right foot back this time. Bending deeply into that left knee. Interlacing those fingers, palms press forward. This time, beginning to rotate your body slightly to the right. Right elbow drops, left lifts. Twisting, looking into that space. Coming back to center. Moving to the other side. Back to center. Press forward one more time. Bring your palms together. Heart center. Step that back foot forward. Turn and step to the long side of your mat. Nice wide stance. And you're going to begin to fold forward, but you want your back to ultimately be parallel to the ground, not all the way into a forward fold. And let your arms hang down. Separate your palms. And then begin to sway your arms, crisscrossing your arms in front of you. So you're going to crisscross them. Yeah, there you go, Marge. Alternating the crisscross. Let's see. Yep, you all look great. You can let your head hang here if that's more comfortable. See what feels good. And just keep moving that energy. Opening up the space for your lungs to take in so much prana. Prana is the foundation of our being. It's the way our soul translates into physical form. Kundalini Yoga is all about building and conserving prana because the quality and the quantity of the prana that we cultivate is really a measure of the caliber of our lives. Bring your arms to stillness. Begin to circle just your left arm, just little circles, as if you were drawing a circle on the floor in front of you. And then bring that arm to stillness. Begin to circle the other, right arm. Doesn't matter which way the circle goes. Just consciously moving that energy. And then come to stillness. Bend your knees slightly. Inhale your arms out and up, coming up to stand. Step your feet together and move to the front of your mat. As you inhale, bring your arms out wide and up overhead. As you exhale, palms together through your heart center. Do that a few times. Nice and wide, palms together through the heart. And the next time your hands come to your heart, pause. And dive your hands down toward the mat. Let your knees bend a little bit, planting your hands. Wiggle your hips a bit here. Bend your knees. And then as you come to center, step your left foot back, your right to meet it. Knees to the mat. Actually, stay in downward dog for a moment and really stretch it out a little bit. And then when you're ready, those knees can fall to the mat. Nice and wide, big toes together. Finding your child's pose. Breathing here. Every conscious breath, you're attending to the relationship between your soul and this human existence. A very important relationship, a very important conversation. Listen to what your soul has to say. Pretty sure it will remind you that your desires are just as important as your needs, that you believe your needs are. We're not just here to experience the basic needs of being a human. We're here to experience pure joy, pure bliss, and with that comes the experience of pure sorrow and pure fear. And this union of all of that in the heart center, this knowing that we're held every moment, every step of this life by something that is so far beyond our imagination, that loves us beyond words. Rest in that space for a moment. Let yourself be held by the most loved, as if you were the most loved little baby, because you are. And then slowly come back up, coming to a seat. And once you get there, you're going to bring your hands together, the back of the hands touching in front of the heart. From here, you're going to inhale those arms up overhead. And then take a twist to the right. Inhale those arms back overhead. Let the back of the hands touch again. Bring them down. Yeah. And then inhale back up. Move to the other side and keep twisting that way. So imagine as your hands come down, they flip, that you're clearing your lungs. And as they move up, you're offering this beautiful breath of life out to the world. As we fill with pranic energy, as our cup runneth over, we're able to share what we gather with this world. That's why when we have whatever we have, whether our prosperity is in finances or our prosperity is in words or song or just a pure, pure heart, whatever it is, rejoice in it because you have it so you can share it. There's a saying that Esther Hicks to Abraham says, and something along the lines of, you cannot get poor enough to help the poor. You cannot get sick enough to help the sick. It's from a place of having health, of having riches, that you can help somebody else. So know that you're entitled, that part of that nourishment is letting yourself be so rich and so full of whatever comes your way. Your desires are as important as your needs. The next time that you come up, Bring your hands down to your heart center, palms together this time. And just rest there for a moment. Feel. And then opening your eyes, you're going to take your hands and you're going to form an L. Your thumbs are going to be out. Your other fingers are all going to be together. And you're going to take that and bring that right under your rib cage so that your thumbs are in the back and the four fingers are pressing in the front. So under your rib cage. So down lower, Marge. Under your rib cage. Yeah, there you go. Everybody got that? Okay. Close your eyes and begin to take long, deep breaths. And feel the expansion of your lower rib cage as breath fills. And feel it yield as it moves back in as the breath leaves. Breathing consciously, deeply here. Connecting to the breath. Awareness of what gives us life, what animates us, moving in and out of us every moment. We spend so much time, well, every moment on this earth breathing, but how much of it do we think about it? How often do we feel a sense of gratitude for this breath? And then take that L and move it up now to where you went before, to the armpits, so that the thumb is hooked under the armpit, the fingers are on your heart. Take long, deep breaths now, really filling up into the heart. Feeling the expansion of your heart center, of your breastbones. And after the next breath, release your hands down. Just notice you all look so peaceful. Now take your left hand, place it right in the center of your heart, thumb facing up. Take your right hand, place the fingers of your right hand over the fingers of your left, that thumb also facing up. Close your eyes. And really press into the heart center. Your closed eyes are focused at the tip of your nose. And chant along with me for a couple of minutes. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudeva. 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 A deep inhale. Hold the breath in as you press your hands into your heart as hard as you can. Squeeze everything up. Hold. Exhale, keeping your hands where they are. One more deep, deep inhale. Really squeezing everything as tight as you can, pressing as hard as you can, letting that pranic energy fill every cell like a balloon about to burst. Feel that. And then exhale. Inhale your arms up overhead so that they're arcing right over your crown. Begin breath of fire here now through your mouth. Now, if you have your menstrual cycle or if you're pregnant, then just long, deep breathing. Otherwise, if it feels comfortable, heavy breath of fire through the mouth. Keep going. Just for 1 minute here. Now, as you close your mouth, continue breath of fire through your nose for 30 seconds. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale, palms together to the heart center. Just feel. And that is a meditation to listen without fear. When we think about listening, we think of the external listening, but even more important is that internal listening. To receive what you need to be nourished and nurtured, to receive that information without fear, without guilt, with a knowing that you do have the ability to fulfill that for yourself. You don't have to wait to be loved, to feel loved. Just love yourself. Prosperity, the peace, the worthiness, all comes from the inside. Slowly release your hands down, make your way to your backs. Once you get there, leave your feet planted. Just take a few flowing bridges, inhaling your arms up overhead, lifting your hips, and exhaling back down. Next time you come down, settle down. Bring your knees into your chest. Take a little squeeze here and then do a few flowing spinal twists to the left and the right. When you feel ready, settle into Shavasana. Bringing with you into your state of rest the knowledge that everything I eat, everything I do, everything I say, everything I think and believe, the company I keep, is the food that nurtures and grows the world that I see. What seeds do I want to plant today to grow the world I want to see tomorrow? Slowly now begin to deepen your breath, bringing your awareness to the room, to the moment, moving your fingers and your toes, letting your body stretch and move in any way that serves. And then bringing your knees into your chest, let your palms and the soles of your feet come together. Rubbing, connecting to that fire of you, that passion. And then slowly begin to rock up and down on your spine or roll to your right, bringing yourself to a seat. We'll meet with our palms together at our hearts, eyes closed. May the long-time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Please join me in sealing our practice together with a long Satnam. Deep inhale. Sa. Nam. Sliding your thumbs to the space between your brow, dropping your chin into your own amazing, graceful beauty. Be love, believe, be true to you. May our practice together today move out into the world, heal, nourish, and nurture all that it touches. Satnam, everybody.